guilty, Douglas Innes, of Whitworth Crescent, Southampton, for failing to operate the yacht in a safe manner. A jury trying a company boss over the deaths of 4 people on board the Cheeki Rafiki yacht has been discharged after failing to reach verdicts on manslaughter charges. Douglas Innes was convicted of failing to ensure the safety of the vessel, but trial judge Mr Justice Dingemans discharged the jurors at Winchester Crown Court after they were unable to reach the decision on the 4 manslaughter allegations, which they had been deliberating over since Tuesday lunchtime. Innes, 42, of Whitworth Crescent, Southampton, and his company, Stormforce Coaching Limited, were convicted of failing to operate the yacht in a safe manner. Contrary to Section 100 of the Merchant Shipping Act, the yacht lost its keel as the crew were returning the 44th yacht from Antigua to the UK in May 2014 when it got into trouble more than 700 miles from Nova Scotia. The 4 crew members were skipper Andrew Bridge, 22, from Farnham in Surrey, with James Mayle, 22, from Southampton, as well as Steve Warren, 52, and Paul Goslin, 56, both from Somerset. The U.S. Coast Guard was criticized for calling off its search after 2 days, but after protests from family and friends and intervention by the British government, the search was restarted and the boat found, but without any sign of the 4 men. This week 42-year-old Douglas Innes has faced 4 counts of manslaughter in relation to their deaths, but the jury at Winchester Crown Court were discharged after failing to reach the verdict. Cheeki Rafiki pictured from underwater after the doomed yacht sank in the Atlantic Ocean, killing 4 British sailors. Innes, who the court previously heard tried to save costs by cutting corners with regards to the 64-long yacht's maintenance, maintained that safety is a high priority for him. The yacht is pictured during Antigua Sailing Week 2014 lost at sea. Steve Warren left from Somerset and Paul Goslin, the 2 friends, were following their lifetime dream. The court heard the yacht got into trouble more than 700 miles from Nova Scotia. Pictured left is James Mayle and right, Andrew Bridge. Innes and his company Stormforce Coaching Limited, which was responsible for the 44th yacht, were both convicted of failing to ensure the ship was operated in a safe manner. After a jury deliberated for 19 hours and 30 minutes, Winchester Crown Court, Hampshire, heard Innes cut corners to save costs by neglecting the damaged boat, but he told jurors problems with the Cheeki Rafiki were hidden from him. Innes, of Southampton, told the court the boat's and sailors' safety was the highest priority for him and his company. However, the prosecution argued he did not report 3 grounding incidents, instructed the crew to take a dangerous route, and said the yacht was not classified to travel more than 60 miles from a safe haven. The yacht's keel, the crucial part of the boat's structure which protrudes below the boat, detached and caused it to sink when returning from the Caribbean island in May 2014. Nigel Lickley QC, prosecuting, told the jury that Innes and his company had been in charge of the Cheeki Rafiki, named after a character in The Lion King, for 3 years but had not had it inspected as required for its commercial certificate. The keel bolts sustained damage as a result of 3 years of hard racing and the grounding incidents. The bodies of crew members James Mayle, 22, of Romsey, Hands, skipper Andrew Bridge, 22, of Farnham, Hands, Steve Warren, 52, of Bridgewater, Somerset, and Paul Goslin, 56, of West Camel, also Somerset, were never found. Cheeki Rafiki had been racing in competitions out in the Caribbean island for 2 weeks prior to the journey. The yacht sank in mid-Atlantic. The yacht lost its keel as the crew were returning the 44th yacht from Antigua to the UK in May 2014 when it got into trouble more than 700 miles from Nova Scotia. The U.S. Coast Guard was criticized for calling off its search after 2 days, but after protests from family and friends and intervention by the British government, the search was restarted and the boat found, but without any sign of the 4 men. Nigel Lickley QC, prosecuting, told the jury that Innes and his company had been in charge of the Cheeki Rafiki, named after a character in The Lion King, for 3 years. He said the yacht, which had grounded on 3 occasions in the past 3 years, had an undetected fault with bolts holding the 3-ton keel to the hull, which then failed, causing it to fall off in bad weather during the voyage. Cheeki Rafiki lost its keel as the crew were returning the 44th vessel from Antigua to the UK in May 2014. Lost at sea were all 4 crew members: skipper Andrew Bridge, second to right, 22, James Mayle right, 22, along with Steve Warren left, 52, and Paul Goslin second left, 56 above. One of the last pictures of the crew shows them enjoying an awards ceremony at the end of Antigua Sailing Week 2014. Douglas Innes, director of Stormforce Coaching Limited, faces 4 counts of manslaughter by gross negligence at Winchester Crown Court, which he denies. Mr. Lickley said the yacht was not appropriately coded, licensed for the voyage, and Innes had chosen an unsafe northern route because it was shorter and enabled the yacht to return to the UK in time for book charters of the vessel. He said that Innes had a duty of care to the 4 men and not to save money at every turn and not to put profit over compliance with the yacht's coding, or commercial certificate, with the Yacht Designers and Surveyors Association YDSA. Mr. Lickley said, the yacht was therefore unsound, broken and unsafe before the 4 men left Antigua. The yacht had been neglected, not maintained, and importantly, because the yacht was used commercially by Mr. Innes and his company, not inspected as required. The trial also heard that when Innes received an email from the skipper, Mr. Bridge, headed as urgent, he carried on drinking in a pub before only later alerting the Coast Guard. Innes told the court that any fault with the keel had lain hidden and would not necessarily have been found by an inspector, and that he believed the yacht had not required the coding because he did not consider the journey to be a commercial voyage.